Assalamu alaikum, chill stream. I am your host, Jebediah Johican, and you are watching Untied That Goat. Oh, wait a minute. Good evening, and welcome to the show. I'm your host, Jake Johnson, and you're watching Untethered Live, coming to you live from the internet, just like it ought to be. How's it going? What's things happening in your neck of the woods? Hey, April. Hey, Kevin. Nice to see you. Good to be here. It's cold. That's all right. Hey. Glad I could make it. It's Friday, chill stream. I'm having a good time. I just got off work not too long ago. I was doing the dirty work today. Boss is out of town. I had to shop all to myself. I just come and go as I please and sleep when I want to. I loved it. I went in at 12 and I got off at 1 and I had 2 30-minute breaks and an hour lunch break. I love you, Jake. I'm watching you and a Jimmy Buffett tribute band, so you only love me enough to give me half of your attention because you're watching somebody else while you're watching me? That's not love. That's captivity. I like Jimmy Buffett also. I've never heard a Jimmy Buffett tribute band, though. I wonder if they're any good. I wonder if everything they do is like Volcano and Margaritaville. I wonder if they have a kettlebell player. Not steel drums, not kettlebell. Steel drum. Boop, 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 boop. I'm drinking a V8 Splash berry blend. What are you drinking? Bourbon? Yummy. I got my shawl on. You see that? Nice. Tan. Looks like a robe from the waist up. I like it. And it's warm. It's kind of chilly in here. Of course, I do have my air conditioner set on 65, but that's how I roll. I like it. I like it cold enough that you can wrap up, but not hot enough that you can take stuff off. Perfect. Snuggling weather. I like it. You tell me, what do you like? You like it hot? You like to sweat? Or do you like it cold? I like to be in a meat locker. Sometimes I like to sweat, though. What would you guys like to talk about tonight? It is Chill Stream. That means you lead the conversation and I respond. And I am the great responder. I shall respond. Whatever you say, I'll respond. It might even make sense. I do have a few things I'd like to talk about today, such as what it'll take to save the future of our world in the current climate that we find ourselves in. And it's a lot simpler than you might think. It only takes doing it. If you don't do it, it doesn't happen. It's as simple as that. And there's a few steps involved. First one is build a community. Find people you trust. We've done that, so we're good. Once you have a community and you have people you can count on, people you trust, people you can leave your wallet around or your children, then you can start building your life. Learn how to do something, learn a skill, bring something to the table that's valuable to the rest of the group. That's how you do that. Then everybody has a purpose. Everybody has a job. Everybody feels a need. Next thing you do, read the Bible, lots of it. And why do you do that? Because the Bible tells you everything that's going to happen and how it's going to happen and who it's going to happen to and where it's going to happen. And it would behoove you to know these things. That's why we're reading the Bible. Not because we're all religious, but because we want to know what's happening and what to expect. The next thing you do, withdraw from the rest of the world. I'm up, I'm here, I wasn't slipping, says Caucasian. Am I cold? A little bit. So, you withdraw from the rest of the world, meaning don't partake in all the bullshit, all the drama that's on TV and everything you see that's going on, all the vaccines and the mandatory this and the you got to do that and give me your guns and stop. Step back. Don't participate. It only works if you participate. If you choose to stay out of it, they'll have to come to you. I'm not saying they won't, but it'll take a whole lot longer for them to get to you than it would be if you were in their territory. He's doing a Steve Jobs bit, obviously. No, I'm doing a I'm cold bit. This is a Shaw, and there's no bit. I'm cold. Fire ain't cutting it. Hey, Diego, what's happening, brother? Now, once you've withdrawn from the rest of society and you have your community that you can rely on, then you rely on it. It's that simple. Raise your own kids. Send your own kids to personal school. That means homeschool. Get them out of the system. The system is designed to destroy your family. It will destroy your family. I promise. I'm not lying to you. Get them out. Take the time. You're going to need a community because they will come after you if you homeschool, especially in rural areas like where I live. They love to come after homeschoolers. But if you have your P's and Q's in order and you got your lesson plan laid out and the kids are doing the work, they can't mess with you. They only do that because they think you're going to let them get away with not learning anything. So if you have 2 or 3 people together homeschooling, not only is it easier because you got a whole class and 2 or 3 people involved, and it's not just you and your kids. So they learn, they have social upbringing with other children, and all it's just good all the way around. But they actually learn stuff and get smarter. Include in your curriculum not just math and science and English, but social stuff like how to milk cows or how to grow things or grow some tomatoes or something educational that will actually help teach your children skills that are important in life. How to hunt, how to skin a deer, that sort of thing. I'm talking to Southern Girl Crime Stories for a guest spot. Sweet. Snoopy dancing ensues. Very nice. Since we are watching a Buffett concert, I'm drinking rum and coke. Very good. I'm stupid excited because he's got somebody to be a guest in his show, which is lovely. If you talk about crime stuff. If you don't, then what's the point? So, how do you save the future of our world? You must withdraw from the world at large. That is the only way. You must take power away from those who have wrestled it away from you. Take it back. That's the only way. Take it back and then turn your back. Yes, render unto Caesar and all that. But everything you can get away with that ain't Caesar's, get away with it. And that's all there is to it. And if everyone does that, especially people like us, in very short order, we will wrestle back our country and its values. If you keep going along with the program, keep bowing your head and just moving forward, they are going to take over and take everything of value from you, one thing at a time until it's all gone. And then you will be a slave to the society. Just like in 1984, we are living it right now. We live in clown world. Everything is upside down. Everything is backwards. Good is evil and evil is good. And up is down and left is right. And dogs are laying with cats and it's pandemonium. Stop playing the game. That's the only way. Who is Joe Biden? Don't know, don't care. Not in my game. It only bothers me if I'm involved. If I'm not involved, it doesn't bother me. I don't hear about it if I don't turn on the news. It doesn't upset me. It doesn't cause me to lose sleep at night because I'm not listening to the hype. Only of which about a quarter will actually happen. You know, when the news talks all that garbage that gets you all upset, only about a quarter of it actually happens. The rest of it is speculation. Like this bill that's being passed right now. There's no guarantee it'll pass. If it passes, we got problems. But it might not pass. And if it don't pass, it'll just disappear. And then they'll be on to talking about something else. She said she liked my accent, and I went full on fangirl. Well, calm down, buddy. Grab hold of that beard of yours and pull back on the reins a little. You don't want to give her your full hand right up front. Let her sweat a little. Now, what I'm saying to you might not make any sense right now. You might think I'm being a little dramatic. Might think I'm being a little conspiratorial. But I assure you this is the answer. It's the only answer. I've thought about it. I put a lot of thought into it. It's the only answer. Build your community, make it strong, homeschool your kids, learn how to feed yourself, become self-reliant, and withdraw from the bullshit. It's the only way. And then they'll come looking for you. They'll want you back. They'll start making concessions then. Right now, they're taking and taking. But if you turn your back on them, and if enough people do, they'll start making concessions. If every trucker in America took the day off tomorrow, it would bring the economy to its knees in 24 hours. In 24 hours, they would be on the phone offering money to people. Big money. Please, just get the trucks rolling again. People will be starving to death in 3 days. In 4 days, all of the shelves on every supermarket will be empty and the gas pumps will be empty and people will start to panic within a week if the truckers just take the day off. If that's all they got to do is just take the day off, a couple days off. And then the government will start calling people. What can we do to get the trucks rolling again? That's the position you want your government in. You don't want them taken from you. You want them calling you asking what they can do. Trust me, I'm right. Hey, folks, a reactionary conversation cannot happen if nobody talks. So, I suggest if you know a trucker, tell him to pass the word around and see what happens. I guarantee you that if there were a leader that would rise up and start this motion of people just stopping, not participating, every stupid thing that comes out of Jen Psaki's mouth will sound irrelevant in about 3 days. Every dumb thing the president signs into law will look redundant in about a week. We need a leader. We need leaders. We need real leaders, because we're a nation of followers, like it or not. We are sheep. The proof is in the picking. Look at anything on TV. People are just being herded around. They just go with whatever. And as long as they turn the heat up slowly, nobody says anything. They just keep getting hotter. A nation of sheep. So somebody needs to take the staff and lead the sheep out of the darkness. Because if you think we're not headed into darkness, you're not paying attention. There are some really bad things happening right now to our country. And it's because of the people who are in charge that they are happening. There are people in prison right now, today, for asking for the truth. Nothing more. And rather than giving them the truth, they were put in prison. Asking for accountability, nothing more. Speaking, nothing more. Being in a place that they own, and nothing more. You think the Capitol building is the government's? No, it's the American people's. It's the capital of America. It belongs to you. So you have a right to be in it, or on it, or near it. Shores. You pay for it in your taxes. But you'll go to prison if you go inside, especially in January. So, I guess the logical question is what do you want out of your life? Is it okay? Is it bothering you? Are you happy? Do you feel like you're in control of things? Well, if you do, then I suppose it's not an issue. Kevin says, I think you would be great on Southern Girl Crime Stories. I haven't heard her. What's it about? Obviously, crime stories, but more specifically, what's it about? Caucasian? What'd I do? Piss everybody off? Nobody wants to talk? That's the best part. She wants to come on my show. She's a girl with a crime channel. Well, I got that much. It's in the name. $20K subs and a real following. Excellent. Well, bring her on. Speaking of shows, are we still on for Saturday? Did you still want me to come on? That's the last I heard anyway. You wanted to do a Saturday thing. April, Kevin, what do you think? Unsolved crimes with a southern accent. Gotta love it. Oh, my bad. Well, you gotta let me know what I've been talking about. Have you not been paying attention? Sure. All of it. I'm talking about the future of humanity. Is stuff boring you? So you, Sasquatch, you changed your idea? You want to have the other guy on Saturday? When do you want me coming back on? Don't think about it, April. Do it. I was thinking about it and they took my family from me. You got to be fast. If they catch wind that you're thinking about it, it's over. Sweet. Have a great room at the Hard Rock Hotel in Daytona. Big deck area, and we're watching a Jimmy Buffett singer from our deck. What what do you have to do to teach, I mean? Do you have any kind of special degree or what? No, you just have to withdraw them from school and set up homeschool. It's a bunch of paperwork. You do it at the school, and basically you're just taking them out of school, unenrolling them, and enrolling them in personal school, private school, homeschool. And you better be on your P's and Q's. You better have everything in order because they'll come after you with lawyers. But if you're doing what you're supposed to do, they won't touch you. Why, thank you. Not anymore. I've lost my voice. But I thank you for the compliment. Okay. I'd be glad to watch them. Homeschooling is just one step, though. you've got to take an active role in passing down information that's being lost. Simple things like how to grow vegetables, how to cook, how to use things like wild lettuce as a painkiller, or you know, different things. There's different herbs that grow wild that you can use for different medicinal purposes. It'd be good to get some books on that sort of thing. I'm telling you, we are squarely in the tribulation, and I can't foresee life as we know it lasting longer than 5 or 6 years. If things keep going the way they're going in the current trend, in less than 5 years, we're going to be a third world country or getting close to it. And the things that we take for granted, like being able to go down to the convenience store and pick up milk, is going to be a thing of the past. Or being able to use a cell phone or, cable television. There really needs to be a preemptive movement towards being prepared for that sort of thing. I'm not saying get all prepper and go crazy. I'm just saying have your mind ready because it's coming. Write it down that I said so. It's coming. Pretty sure life as we know it ended 18 months ago. I'm pretty sure you might be right. There are a lot of things in the Bible that are happening right now. There's a lot that hasn't happened yet, but a lot of it is happening. And not some of the bigger things aren't happening, but things like them are happening. Like, remember I said that this whole vaccine passport thing was a lot like the mark of the beast. It's not the mark of the beast, but it's that kind of thing. And if you can't say no to this, you won't be able to say no to the mark of the beast. I believe when the mark of the beast happens, you'll recognize it. I believe it'll be unavoidable. You'll know beyond a shadow of a doubt this is it. But this is like a trial run for it. This is a very basic version of the same kind of thing that we're doing right now in this country. It's happening just as it was predicted to have happened in every way, which brings me like a beacon in the night. I start paying attention to it. When I see things that occur exactly as it was foretold in every detail, then I start paying attention. And then I realize that the next step is worse. And if you'll look back, starting at the beginning of Trump's reign, or Trump's candidacy, whatever, however you want to call it, from that moment forward, things have been steadily going downhill. And every week it gets worse, not better. It used to be there'd be some give and take. There'd be bad stuff happen, and then some good stuff would happen. It's all been bad for the past 2 or 3 years. Now, none of this is Trump's fault. Obviously, he's a player in the game just like everybody else is. A very small portion of it. But it started when he became president. And it started in response to him becoming president. So it's actually the other side that started it. But nonetheless, it's happening. Now, what that means, I don't know what it means. I'm not telling you I know what it means. I'm not telling you that I know for certain what the future holds. But I'm telling you that you should be prepared for it because it's coming. One way or another, history repeats itself, and it's already happened before. It's going to happen again. And it's happening right now just like it did in the 40s in another country. It started like this, and then it ended up being what it was. So that's where this is going, where that went. Maybe not exactly the same way, but you can bet similar results will abound. I've done a lot of research on the subject, and I'm correct. I don't know how long we've got. I don't know when things are going to get bad. But mark my words, they will get bad. And when they get bad, you will be glad that you took a moment to prepare yourself. Because there's a lot of people that won't. And those people will be in trouble when it starts going bad. The people that do prepare themselves will likely survive it. Hey, Diego says, I'm back. I was doing some stuff with my family. So for that reason, ... Kevin says, I will watch every video. Watch. Ultimately, what I want is a family that's safe. I want to protect those that are in my family. I don't care about anybody else's family. That's their job. But my family, I want to protect. And the only way I know to do that is to sound the alarm. And the alarm has been sounded. Something bad is coming down the pipe. And you need to be ready for it. Now, this whole passport thing, I don't know how they're going to solve that. I don't know how they're going to handle that. But I can bet you this. There's something else going on underneath that we don't know about. I'm not the only person that notices it. As a matter of fact, if you'll watch Tucker Carlson last night, he had a guest on named Jim Brewer. He's a comedian, and he said the same thing. It's almost as if it's about something else, isn't it? So I'm not the only person that's noticed that this looks like a cover for something else. It feels like a cover for something else. They're pushing way too hard. It doesn't make any sense. The rules don't seem to work. If a person is vaccinated, they have nothing to fear from someone who's not vaccinated, yet they're pushing fear. If a person's not vaccinated, they clearly don't care whether they get sick or not, so they're pushing fear. Why are they pushing fear? That's not how you handle a pandemic. You handle it by reason and science and understanding and making sure everybody knows what's going on. Not one person on any television station anywhere has mentioned go outside, get some exercise, get some fresh air, get some sunlight. You need to be healthy. You need to take care of your immune system. Not one person has mentioned that. That is rule number one to taking care of yourself. Why isn't anybody talking about your health? Why are they closing gyms when that's the places that they should be opening? Why are they closing churches when it's a constitutional right to assemble and worship as you choose? Why are they doing anything? Doesn't make any sense, and it can't be just as simple as they're stupid. There's more to it than that. I don't know what it is. I couldn't begin to tell you what it is, but it's something. Mark my words, and you'll hear about it in probably 5 years. And then you can look back on this day and go, you know what, he was right. A lot of good it'll do you then, but you'll be able to say it. And nope, no nude scenes will be involved, Kevin. Congratulations. You just won the joke of the week. Anybody got anything to contribute to the conversation? Thoughts, ideas, possible plans? Hmm. Been a long day. I've been thinking about this stuff for about 2 weeks now. Thinking about how I'm going to broach the subject, thinking about what I'm going to talk about. Probably going to get kicked off YouTube for even mentioning it, but that's okay. If that happens, it happens. Somebody needs to say something that's true amidst all this confusion. And I elected myself to do it. That doesn't mean that anybody's going to appreciate it, but it needs to be stated. There's just too many things going on, too many backroom deals, too many things snuck on under the radar. You ought to read that 2,000 page bill that they passed, or that they're trying to pass right now in the Congress. Some of it's good, but there's some sneaky stuff in there too. And you know ain't nobody going to read it. They're going to vote on it, but they're not going to read it. And if it passes, some really bad things are going to happen shortly thereafter. And like I said earlier, that don't mean it's going to pass. It may very well not pass, and then it'll just become background noise and then disappear altogether. Nobody will say anything else about it. But right now, everybody's talking about it, and it's rough. And all you can do is hope for the best. Yes. Caucasian says, I built an aquaponic system for the experience in aquaponics. Well, that's something you can bring to the table. When it comes time to need to grow stuff, you'll be the guy. You'll be the Bruce Willis of the team when it's time to grow food. Save the world. And if everybody has some skill as such, then it'll be a pretty strong community. And I'm fairly self-sufficient given a swamp. Yeah, me too. I know how to kill. I know how to butcher. I know how to grow. And I know how to walk off in the woods and disappear. That's a very important skill to have if you're being hunted. I can take 2 steps into a wilderness and be gone from sight. And you know that's true. Also, jump out the tree with a screwdriver and kill a deer if I have to, according to Redbone Hodges. Or whatever his last name was. I think it was Hodges. Can't remember now. Redbone something or other. That was pretty funny when he said that. All right, enough of my soapbox. We'll talk about whatever you guys want to talk about or nothing at all. And I said my piece. Take it or leave it. Got to see my son for a little while today. Did a little work. Went in. I had the place all to myself. My boss is out of town, so I just went in and did my little thing. Worked about 5 hours and went home. It's a pretty nice day all in all. Yeah, well, that kind of thinking is going to get you in trouble there, Kev. Giving a grocery store and a liquor store, when they're gone, what are you going to do? When they're empty? That's not true, Caucasian. I want swamp. I'm fairly comfortable in a swamp. Maybe nobody else wants swamp, but, I came from one. I got red clay and swamp in my DNA. And kaolin running through my veins. Boy, you guys sure are talkative tonight. Talk, talk, talk. That's all we ever do is talk. And I'm sensing a disturbance in the force. Diego, are you still with us? What's your thoughts on the whole subject? Or not? Yep. I figured some fish, pigs, goats, and maybe an emu and some chickens. Definitely a goose. Well, chickens would be just fine. You can eat chicken and eggs. Yeah, goat would be a good idea. If you could turn that hydroponics into a greenhouse. Now hear me out. If you build a greenhouse and fill it with tanks and get a certain breed of African fish that breeds real fast and often and fill that tank up with the fish and then put tops on the tanks and then grow food on top, they can survive off of the water from the fish tanks with all the fish shit. Get you a couple of those algae eaters put in there, and you can have fish and vegetables growing at the same time, year round, if you do it right. And that greenhouse will provide a home for the fish, and the plants will feed off of the fish shit and grow. And that's a pretty smart move. And you can grow herbs and peppers and any small plant that'll grow on top of those tanks. You have that now? Good. That's exactly this. Well, then you got the idea. Now, that can feed your family. Get you a hutch with some rabbits in it, and you can eat rabbit meat, and they breed pretty fast. Get about 100 rabbits, and teach them to eat lettuce or something, or scraps. And rabbits is a good source of food. Got a sports update with Kevin Cox. In baseball, the Rays clinched home field advantage all through the playoffs, which begins next week. In football, Georgia plays Arkansas, both in the top 10. Go Dogs! Oof. Quail are quiet. I grow broccoli in the winter. Good move. I've got blackberries and bullaces, and there's a sweet potato farm right around the corner from where I'm at. I've got lots of squirrels year round, and I'm not too far from the fields. I got fields all around me, so deer hunting is pretty easy. And I know how to make ammo. That's an important skill to have, because it's getting harder and harder every day to find ammo. I know how to make gunpowder too, out of sulfur and saltpeter. And a couple other things. So if push comes to shove, I can kill a deer with a slingshot if I have to. That'd be a pretty mighty powerful slingshot, but it can be done. Or a crossbow. And I can butcher. I took the time to learn how to butcher, so I process my own deer now. April says, I can make stuff too. Like what? Can you sew? I like traps. Yeah, traps are good. It's good to know how to make traps. Make a rabbit trap or something like that. But I'm more tactile. I like to go get my food. Hunting takes effort. Why bother? Well, if you're hungry, you wouldn't be asking that question. You'd just be shooting something. And I'm not above eating dogs, and there's lots of dogs in the neighborhood. If push comes to shove. Yes, you can sew. Good. That's a good skill to have. Sewing and cooking. Good skill to have. I can cook. I just don't like doing it. But if I had to, I can do it. And believe it or not, somebody needs to make sure the clothes stay in order. Because you start wearing clothes out, and then you'll start wishing you knew how to sew. Well, you do something to eat for sure. Yep. I'm going to eat. I'm not going to starve to death. I don't care who's in charge. I'm going to find something to eat. And fishing is a good skill to have. Learn how to tell the difference between the different fish. Learn how to cast net. Learn how to make a fishing pole. And learn how to do a trot line. And you can survive pretty well just on fish if you had to. And you can eat mussels and things like that also. Depends on where they come from, though. I hear you, brother. That's right. You can do a lot with fishing wire. You can make all kinds of things with that stuff. And a fishing pole's easy. You just got to be able to get a hook in the water. You can make a fishing pole out of a tin can. or a stick, something to hold on to. It ain't even got to have a pole. Just drop it in the water and wait. It helps to know where to drop it in the water, though. There's certain places where fish gather at certain times, and it's good to know those things. In other words, just be thinking about the future. Think about things you can add to your repertoire of things you can do. You don't even have to do it. Just be prepared to learn it if you need to. Just have a plan. That's what I'm saying. A lot of trouble can be avoided if you just plan ahead. You become a lot more efficient that way. Lots of planning and lots of praying. Those two things are important. And this is a place you can come to ask lots of different kinds of questions and get answers. That's one of the reasons this space exists, so that we can discuss. If somebody needs to know how to do something, they can come on here and put the question out, and one of us will know the answer or can find the answer. And I hope this community gets bigger in time. I'm there, Jake. I'm giving out my secrets and not on social media. I don't blame you. I'm not asking for any secrets. I'm just saying, keep your secrets to yourself, but have a plan. That's what I'm saying. Think about the worst case scenario considering where you live and how far you are from certain things. You know what I mean? Think about how close you are to a city or how many people go through your neighborhood, that sort of thing. And have a plan, have a way out, have a route set aside, get a map, find the best way out, 2 or 3 different exits. Have a place to go in mind. Save a little money up in case you need it. But more especially, rather than money, save up things you can trade. Because when money falls, you're going to be able to need to make deals without money. A little silver goes a long way. A little gold goes a long way. You didn't mean what? That you're not going to give your secrets out on social media? I don't blame you. I think an ounce of prevention is worth a pound of intention. Oh, yeah. I'm with you. About the how, when, and the where. I hear you. I'm just saying that you should be thinking about that, you know. Not just you, but everybody should be thinking about that. Where to go, what to do if things get bad, how to handle yourself. She pocket speech to texted that. Well, you know, you got to do what you got to do. And if you know something, it's good to keep it under your vest. That way, can't nobody take advantage of your knowledge. I've spent the better part of 40 years learning how to do random things that will come in handy when I need to. Mechanicking and building and, you know, problem solving, that sort of thing. Skills. I got skills. I got a certain set of skills. And I will find you. And I will kill you. If I have to. But I don't have to. In other words, I'm looking for things to get rough in about 4 years. And so you probably should be heeding that warning and being prepared. I think the whole shebang started in 2021. I mean, the tribulation. And I think it's going to get progressively worse over the next 5 years until all hell breaks loose and we're in full-out civil war. So it'd probably be a smart idea to learn how to stay out of that. I know I don't want nothing to do with it. I ain't got no beef with nobody. I'm just going to keep my head down, try to ride it out. But that idea about having something to trade, that's a good idea. Even if it's just a 55-gallon drum of flour, you'd be surprised how many people need flour in the end times. Or salt and pepper, or a little silver. Something that has value other than money. Some tools, some weaponry, some ammunition. Ammunition will be like money, be like gold. And you'll be able to trade that for a lot. A loaf of bread or something. And a loaf of bread in the apocalypse is worth more than a bar of gold is. Believe that. Animals. Animals are a good source of protein. They're a good source of having stuff like goats. You get milk from goats. You get eggs from chickens. You get meat from rabbits and squirrels or cats or anything you can get your hands on, really. As long as you're not going hungry. All right. Hey, won't you do me a favor and hit that subscribe button, press the bell icon so you get notifications of when I'm going to be here. Smash that like button like it owes you money. God knows it owes me some. Share this video with somebody you love. Better yet, share it with somebody you don't love. Bring them into the family. Make them part of the fold. Be part of their solutions, not part of their problems. Leave a comment down below and let me know what you're thinking. Question me, curse me, bless me, challenge me, confront me, conform with me, drink my Kool-Aid. Drink your own Kool-Aid as long as you're thinking critically. That's what I want. Critical thought coming from that brain of yours. And if you dig what I'm doing and you can get down with what I'm spilling out, won't you take a moment, go to paypal.me/JakeJohnsonBand. Every little bit helps. It's a win-win. It's a blessing for me. It's a blessing for you too. God notices these things. We live in a reciprocal universe. With that, I will round out the video. Well, I love you too. Living in an elevator, living it up while you're going down. Think about it. I know y'all weren't very talkative tonight, but think about what I said. It's important. Hit that thumbs up button. Yeah. All right, ladies and gentlemen, it's been a slow night and nobody seems to want to talk, so I'm getting the hell out of here and going to bed. I love you all. Take care of yourselves and each other, and thank you so much for watching. Catch you next time.